Yeah, Marilyn and I lived in a place on 84th, which was probably 3/4 of a mile from here. It was somebody had a porch.
Because it was warm.
But it was on the house was on a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember too much about that other than the narrow driveway.
Yeah, with a little two strips of concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the Ford parked in the garage one day, and I was gonna jump the hill on my motorcycle as I come running up the hill, and I airborne, and I landed, and I slammed on the brakes, and I slid right in between the car door and the garage, and I was the car and the garage door, and wedged the bike in, and I couldn't get off the bike. My legs were pinned in there. And it took me about 20 minutes to get off the stupid bike, and then I had to go get the neighbor to come and help me get the bike unstuck.
Wouldn't fit. I did it last night, but this morning it just wouldn't fit.
That was a really dumb move on my part. I was just lucky I didn't get hurt.
Now, Jeanette was born then.
She was born in Seattle, when we lived in that house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dina wasn't there yet.
No, Dina was born down here in Portland, or down in Portland.
And I don't know if we came out for the Gold Cup races or...
We might have. We used to go to those.
Yeah. So it was neat to be at the end of the floating bridge, and the jets would fly over, and
I
you wouldn't...
still remember that little Oriental guy that was sitting up on top of the step ladder with his little movie camera taking pictures. That's when they started the race coming under the bridge. They'd start on the other side of the bridge, and then they'd start the race. They'd line up on the start line, and they'd come under the bridge, and then start the race over there. Well, we were sitting up on the floating bridge, getting ready to watch the races, and there's this Oriental guy up on the top of the spot, 8-foot step ladder, taking movies of the boats coming under the bridge, and the jets came over. Of course, you don't hear them coming. And all of a sudden, there's 3 jets in front of me, and they boom, and this guy went, wah! And the camera went backwards off the ladder. And of course, it scared everybody.
Yeah.
But this guy just was cool. It got him good. That was one of the years we were up there.
Quicksilver 4.
Quicksilver, and the driver and the mechanic died. The boat disintegrated.
It disintegrated. There were still pieces of it floating in the water.
Yeah.
Are you doing all right?
You know, my coat keeps hitting stuff, huh? I'm tired.
Yeah, it's probably bedtime.
Yeah, it's like 2 in the morning.
Is it?
Yeah.
No. It is too.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Tavern closing time.
Another half an hour. I don't know, is it different in Washington? 2:30,
9.
I think it's 2 in
2 up
Washington.
here.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in a tavern, are we?
No, we're not bad either.
Yeah, I might have to get up and make sure Doug takes everything with him that they don't want to throw the bike.
Well, I'm sleeping in the living room, so you know I'm going to have to wake up when the kids start running around.
These. Uncle Dave, Uncle Dave. Well, you go in and grab Doug's bed one of these. Go back to sleep for a while.
Yeah.
These young people can handle it.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, we get to sleep on the way home if we need to.
Me too.
That's still my absolute favorite. One of my favorite movie scenes of all time is in Vacation.
Vacation.
When they're driving and they show the daughter in the back seat, she's sound asleep, and they pan over to the son, and he's sound asleep, and they pan to the wife, and she's sound asleep, and then they pan to Chevy Chase, and he's sound asleep.
That movie in particular reminds me not so much of trips with Dad, because he was kind of mellow, but Leo in particular. because Leah would
I'd imagine.
freak.
I never did a road trip.
Oh my God,
That would've been amazing.
we were in the van one time when we drove back east,
He's
and
not a good driver.
well, he's an okay.
No,
You
he's
know,
not.
he-
He
back
can
in the
handle traffic
back in
well,
the 80s, he was better. But anyway, we were in that van, which was held together with duct tape and baling wire, and we he bought it on a credit card to play some McLaughlin, and we drove it back east, and we were out for a whole month, and it was just nothing but problems. Anyway, he got to a point where he'd bought a Janis Joplin tape, and he's playing that in the van on the way out, and I was in the passenger seat, and it started to eat the tape. Yeah, so he pushing every possible button to try and get this thing to play, and it keeps just warbling and going off wrong, and he hits the eject button, and it comes out, and the tape is still stuck in the machine, and he pulls it out, and he's fishing out all the tape, and he just rolls down the window, and he just throws it out and hits another car in the lane next to us. Yeah, oh yeah, no, not even a second thought about that. And yeah, so that reminds me of Chevy Chase in that particular movie. But
we were down there visiting. We went down, got in our car and went down to some tower in the next town down, and they'd never been in the tower before. They had country western kind of stuff, and we got in there and we ordered a pitcher of beer, and we were sitting there talking and drinking beer. And not the kind of place that they normally would hang out at, but it had some bikers in there and stuff. So we're sitting there, and we decided to stay. We were having fun. I don't remember if it was karaoke or something was going on there. We were kind of having fun listening and stuff. Some young gal coming over and sits down, stands next to me. Think it'd be okay if I braided your beard? and I said, you're gonna have to ask my old lady. And so she said, can I braid his beard? And Judy says, yeah, I don't care. So she sits down on my lap and starts braiding my beard. And Peggy says, what is it with you and the young girls that want to braid your beard? Because it's happened before. They come over and they, can I? Yeah, I don't care. But you gotta ask her. She always goes along with it. She doesn't have a problem with that.
I was in a regular, the Oasis, or, nah, it wasn't, but it was some nightclub, and
Girls go nuts over him. Yeah, it's like all the girls I know and stuff, like, your dad's hot. I'm like, shut up. Don't say that. Yeah, but he was walking around the stores and stuff.
two girls came over to me and they said, we're sorry to bother you, but we're on a bachelorette party thing, and we've got certain things that we have to do, and one of the things that we all have to do is rub a bald guy's head. Can we rub your head? And I said,
Which
sure.
head?
I said, sure. 4 or 5 of them came over and all rubbed my head.
where were you and Leo one time that?
Oh, we went to the Scottish bar on St. Patty's Day. The something Thistle over on Broadway, Northeast Broadway. Peggy was with us, and Rose and Thistle. Peggy was with us, but she had a lot to drink, and she came. No, she didn't even come inside. She stayed in the car. So Leo and I go in, and
You were playing the pipes.
yeah, I was in my kilt in a little bit, and
Put it down there.
we went in and asked the bartender if she wanted us to play the pipes, and she said, well, I don't know, they've got the jukebox playing. And I said, well, it's St. Patrick's Day. This is the Rose and Thistle, and playing the pipes, She said, well, I'll have to call the owner now. So she made a call, and he said, sure, you know, 2 guys sitting at the bar and maybe 4 or 5 other people in the place. And one of the guys at the bar says, well, you better be good, you know, and he was serious about it. And I said, well, I'm, you know, probably better than the average piper.
Put on scotch and threw a rock in his face.
Yeah.
Had butted him.
But, so I played the pipes, and we got a couple free beers, and Leo and I are sitting there drinking them, and a couple gals come in, and they're with guys, I think, but they come over and sit down with us, and they're trying to rub my legs on my tail and stuff, and I don't want anything to do with it. Well, Leo's eating it up. You know, they're rubbing him, and he's you know, all for it and everything else. And anyway, we left not too long after that, but that was kind of awkward.
When we were doing a lot of stuff with Klein Gregor up there in Seattle, Tacoma, they put together one of the rock and roll radio stations up there came with this idea where they're bowling for charity thing. And you put together a team, and then you go off and you give them $10 a piece or whatever it was to get the team signed up. And the winning team gets, you know, some kind of a prize or something, but the money goes to charity. And it was Robin and Maynard were the DJs. Robin hated bagpipes. So anyway, we get up there, and our team we decided to wear Hawaiian shirts and our kilts. So we go up, and I was the only one in the group that played the bagpipes, so I took the pipes up. And the DJ sitting over at this table with his microphone set up and everything, and he's talking on the radio, so one of the guys in my group said, go stand behind him and start playing the bagpipes. So I walked over there and I started playing the bagpipes. And he's talking on the radio and stuff, you know, and he's having a little tough time talking on the radio. I played tune and I stopped playing, and I look over and one of the other guys on our team is standing there talking to this cute little gal. And he comes over and he says, she wants to know what you got underneath your kilt. And wants to know if she could take a look. And I said, I don't care. So she came over and lifted up my kilt, turned bright red, and turned around and walked out. I don't wear anything underneath my kilt. Unless I'm going to be around kids or something, you know. But normally I don't.
Well, my answer when someone says,
Shoes and socks.
no.
Mm-mm.
No, have you ever heard of the Loch Ness Monster?
Oh. I did let her look. And Judy that night had taken some medicine for her thyroid thing, and then she drank a beer and it made her tongue swell up. So she was going around, you know, and so one of the other girls,
This is my wife.
well, no, they didn't know what was going on. So one of the other girls said, well, we're going to take her to the drugstore and see if she can get. So she goes to the drugstore and she, do you have any Benadryl? And it was one of these Indian guys that can't speak English, and they couldn't figure out what they were talking about. And so they finally took her to the hospital. And the girl called her to the hospital, and she said, well, Judy's over here. They got her in the hospital. They gave her a shot or something. And I said, well, should I come and get her? And she said, well, just finish up what you guys are doing there. Because she has to be laying down here for a while anyway. So Robin was out in the parking lot trying to make a phone call on her cell phone. So I said, go out, chase her around the parking lot. Go down out and play the bagpipes. I chased her out with the parking lot. She was getting all bent out of shape. Because I was, you know, anyway. We had a good time. And then we went over and picked up Judy. By then her tongue had gotten back where she could talk again. And then one time I was playing, I'd been asked to play for one of the biker parties. And we get down at the bar, and there's a lot of the Banditos Motorcycle Club guys there. And I don't care for the Banditos Motorcycle Club. They're really a bunch of jerks. Although I know one personally that he is a good friend of mine. He's no longer a bandito. He went to jail for about 10 years. Wrong place, wrong time, and anyway, he got set up kind of, you know, he went, well, he's not in the group anymore, but I walk in there and I'm standing over at the bar and one of the bandidos walks over and he says, "Your slip is showing." I said, "That's not my slip, that's the end of my dick." We went, where I was supposed to play several times during the night, and they were going to give us Judy and I free beer. The guy comes over and he says, "Well, the bartender won't let you run an account, because we were just going to let you drink all the beer you want, and the party of the club would pay for it." And he said, "So they won't do that, so I'll just give you $20, and when that's gone, come and get some more money." So we went over and got a couple of glasses of beer. And the first band was not setting up yet, so I played a couple of tunes. And the guy come over and he says, "Well," he said, "now, this band's going to play a couple sets, and then you play again, and then there's going to be another band set up." So they played they went through their first set, and I went out and played a couple more tunes. And then they played another set, and then the other band was going to come up. So by this time we'd gone through the $20, and we went over and got some more money. And when the first band got through, and the second band came out and started setting up, I was supposed to play again. Well, I went out there and I asked the guy who was kind of heading up this whole thing. I said, "Well, should I go up and play now?" And he said, "Well, let me go talk to the guy that's setting up." Then he came back and he said, "No, they don't want you out there playing." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, it's going to disturb them. They don't want you to be playing." And so I said, "Oh, great, when am I supposed to play?" "Well, when they get through." I'm going to stand around here for another hour and then go out. "No, thanks." So we just finished our beer, and I took the rest of the money, and we just left. I don't, you know.
Turned down, I'm going to go to bed, but I've been turned down, played in places to play for a beer. I say I'll play for a beer, and I don't even care about the beer, but they don't want to interrupt the jukebox.
Yeah.
On St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yet
they have
they've
bagpiper in there, and
They've got ads all over
I
the
know.
place
Right.
about St. Patrick's Day, you know, and
Well,
there's a slug right here.
the last
Not that
funeral I
he's big
got
guy.
asked to play for, I had to turn it down. And he called me 2 days before the funeral and said, "Can you play at the funeral?" And I said, "Well, I'll get the pipes out and see if they work." I called him the next day and said, "Well, the pipes are kind of working, but I'm not." So I said, "I'm going to have to pass."
yeah, that's a lot of people think you can just grab it and do it. You
Oh
know?
man, I played them the other day. I brought them down. I don't know how many tunes I'll get out of
He
them.
brought his one too.
Yeah, we'll play it tomorrow a little bit. But I played about 3 tunes, and my throat was so sore I could hardly swallow. And so I stopped. And the next day I picked them up and I started playing. And I got through playing and my chest hurt. I was like, "God, I'm getting really out of shape. This is terrible. I gotta start playing more often, because I mean it's something I can do when I should be doing it, I suppose."
But it's true, you gotta keep it up. And you can't.
Yeah. Plus I know I'm getting out of shape. And I think that's far enough. Chair here.